there, it's Dr. Dre with The Better Way MD. Welcome to week 21. Now, this week I'm going to continue to investigate some of the more negative emotions that we frequently use food to avoid feeling. So last week I talked about stress and how we oftentimes think that stress comes from the stressor, but it's actually coming from our thoughts about the stress. And if this sounds confusing, then go back and review week 20. This week, I'm going to talk to you about stress's first cousin, and that is overwhelm. But before I do, I want to tell you about something exciting that's going to be coming up. For Christmas, I got this little, bot thing. I don't know what it is actually. I have to get it out of the package, but I can put my phone in it and it will record me as I move around. So I might become mobile with these videos and give you a little different background than the sleeping dog and whatever else is behind me. But let's get back to overwhelm. Now, overwhelm is a tricky feeling because in the moment it feels really true and really believable, but it is a completely made up construct. Now, hear me out on this. We frequently feel overwhelmed when we have thoughts like, I have so much to do, I can't get all this done, I don't have enough time to get all this done, I'll never meet this deadline. And overwhelm is interesting in terms of the think, feel, do cycle, because if your thought is, I can't get all this done, and your feeling is overwhelmed, then the action would feel like there might be something going on. But in actuality, overwhelm just creates a spinning thought in your brain. And it kind of gets you onto this little hamster wheel of spinning. So you feel like you're actually doing something, but you're not. You're just staying stuck. Now think of it like you would if you had your car stuck in snow or ice. You are stuck, you push the gas pedal, you feel like your tire's going to move you forward, but in actuality, the tire just kind of spins. And then you feel more overwhelmed and you push the gas harder, the tire spins faster, and you still don't move. The only way your car is going to move is if you throw something like sand under the tire or put a wedge, create some resistance, and move forward. And a lot of times that's what we do with eating. We think that food is going to help our overwhelm because it's going to be like the sand under the tire, but actually we're just moving the overwhelm on down the road. It still will be there waiting for us when we finish the food. And then we've even wasted time by eating more. So look, I know what you're thinking. I have no idea how busy you are or how long your to-do list is. And you're right. I don't know that, but I do know something, and I want you to realize this. The only thing that we have to do is die. So I know the saying is actually you have to pay your taxes or die, but you really don't even have to pay your taxes. But the only thing you have to do is to die. So everything else that you think you have to do is a completely, entirely made up construct from your thoughts. Now, there are lots of things that you think you have to do, but you don't. And what you're doing by feeling overwhelmed from this is just creating this spinning. And that's fine. But, you do have a to-do list to get done, and I want to help you get out of the feeling of overwhelm. So I'm going to tell you what I do. First thing I do is I recognize that I am in overwhelm. And I recognize it because it feels the same every time. It feels like a dark gray squeezing sensation on the lower part of my esophagus, and it squeezes and squeezes and squeezes, and it almost makes me a little short of breath, and then as it gets better, it creates this kind of mid-sternal pressure, kind of like what I think a mild heart attack would feel like. So in other words, it feels like crapola, which is bad, except it's good because it helps me to recognize it. And then once I recognize it, I have created a mantra for myself, and I'm going to share it with you because it really helps me to get out of that stuck feeling. And the first thing I do when I recognize I'm in overwhelm, I think, I am creating this feeling with my thoughts. And then my next thought is, overwhelm will never create action. And then my third thought is, I need to decide what action has to be done this second. Because not everything has to be done at 1 second, but you kind of triage your actions. And let's say that I've got my to-do list, I'm running around, and I get overwhelmed, and I think I'm creating this with my thoughts. Overwhelm's never going to create action. I need to choose what action I need to do right this second. If I'm at a red light, it's turning right to go to the grocery store. So once I've actually created that action, it gives me momentum to keep going. It's kind of like I threw kitty litter under my tire and I'm moving again. Now, overwhelm is going to come back and back and back. And that's okay. You just have to recognize it and realize that you're making it up. Now, I am the queen of overwhelm. It sometimes takes me repeating I'm creating this with my own thoughts like 10, 15 times before I really start to believe it. But once it clicks, then I always remember overwhelm never drives action. What do I need to do right this second to move on? And for me, right this second is to hit record and record this video for you all, upload it, and I will see you next week.